From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
The National Weather Service has canceled the severe thunderstorm warning that was in place for portions of Eaton and Ingham County. Notice that thunderstorm, though, still producing a lot in the way of some heavy precipitation. Not a whole lot occurring across the area, but notice a couple of those isolated showers and thunderstorms tracking off to the south-southeast. Otherwise, we are mostly sunny and temperatures still really impressive. Because of the rain, we're cooling down to 75 degrees in Charlotte, 81 your current temperature here in Lansing. We'll continue to dry things out as we go throughout the rest of the evening and overnight tonight. Another chance for just a couple of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow before we crank up the heat to start the weekend. 6 News at 5:30 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5:30.
Right now at 5:30, there are more details in the incident where a young girl fell overboard on a Disney cruise. Plus, airports all across Canada were shut down today because of a bomb threat. And a 4th of July tradition is back, and so is one of the most famous faces as the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Competition held its weigh-in today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jorma Duran. Siobhan has the night off. Let's start the clock on our first 6 minutes of news. And we're starting this evening in Ottawa County, where authorities say someone trying to get away from deputies drove into a tractor trailer. It happened in Holland Township early this morning. Deputies say they responded to a call about a fight between several people, and when they got there, someone took off in a car. After a search, deputies say they found the car crashed into a tractor trailer, causing the truck to overturn. The driver, trying to elude authorities, was airlifted to a Grand Rapids hospital with serious injuries. The 60-year-old truck driver was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. In Wayne County, Tammy Sandoval, a 55-year-old woman from Mount Morris, is now charged with the hit and run that killed 3-year-old boy Sunday in Livonia. A mom, Tia Robinson, was crossing the street with her twins when they were hit with a vehicle that then took off. Robinson and her daughter were injured but survived. Sandoval was arraigned today and given a $600,000 bond. Winding things out, a 4-year-old boy in Texas died after being left in a hot van while attending a daycare center last week, and 2 people are now under arrest. 2 employees of the daycare, who police say were the last to use the van, were charged with injury to a child causing death. In New Jersey, a skydiving plane with 15 people aboard crashed into a wooded area near a small airport Wednesday. 3 men are still hospitalized and listed in critical condition, and 5 others are listed in serious condition as of this afternoon. The single-engine Cessna radioed about having engine trouble after takeoff and crashed on landing. Officials say some of those on board were covered in jet fuel and had to be decontaminated before being taken to the hospital. In California, another plane crash, this one a small plane with a single person aboard. It went down in a rural area this morning, and the pilot had to be extricated from the cockpit. Officials say that person has life-threatening injuries. The Federal Aviation Administration is now investigating the crash. And we're learning more about the 5-year-old girl who fell overboard on a Disney cruise on Sunday between the Bahamas and Florida. The Broward County Sheriff's Office says the girl was sitting on a railing, lost her balance, and fell out of a porthole. The girl's mother told her husband, who immediately jumped in after her. The man found his daughter and treaded water for 20 minutes until a rescue boat got to them. The man suffered an injury, although authorities did not say what. He was treated at a hospital and released. And looking at the rest of the world, rescuers are still looking for 32 people who went missing after a ferry sank near the resort island of Bali. 29 people were rescued and 4 bodies have been recovered. The ferry was carrying 53 passengers, 12 crew members, and 22 vehicles, including 14 trucks, when it sank Wednesday night. Ferry tragedies are common in Indonesia because safety regulations are lacking. Several Canadian airports received bomb threats this morning, causing flights to be grounded and forcing long delays. The threats targeted facilities in Ottawa, Montreal, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Vancouver. A number of airports were evacuated, but after investigations, the airports slowly resumed service throughout the day. In France, Sotheby's is getting ready to auction off the first Birkin bag ever made. The prototype was made for and worn by singer-actress Jane Birkin in 1985. She auctioned off the bag in 1994 to support a French charity that fights HIV/AIDS, and it went on sale again in 2000, this time bought by a private French collector. Well, after lending the piece for exhibits in New York and London, the collector now has decided to pass it on. Sotheby's is only releasing the price estimate to certain potential buyers, but hinted that it could fetch between $500,000 and $1 million. The auction is scheduled for July 10th. Back here in the United States, a familiar face is making his return to this year's Nathan's famous 4th of July International Hot Dog Eating Contest.
Trying to break his record of 76 hot dogs and buns, the great Joey Chestnut.
That's right. The 16-time winner weighed in at 238 pounds ahead of tomorrow's competition. Chestnut didn't participate last year because of a contract dispute that has now been resolved.
To say I missed it would be an understatement. I love this event. I love New York City. I love 4th of July. And this is an amazing place to be. And as long as I'm healthy, I'm going to keep trying to be back here.
We're big Chestnut fans. We're going to be checking it out tomorrow, so we just wanted to see what he was weighing in at.
Now, in his absence, Patrick Bertoletti took home the mustard belt last year after gobbling up 58 hot dogs. On the women's side, 10-time champion Miki Sudo is back to defend her title. Well, there you go. And before it's game over for our first 6 minutes of news, the family entertainment giant Chuck E. Cheese is launching a new experience for adults, arcades branded as Chuck's Arcade. The company is hoping to capitalize on people who grew up going to the famous pizza and arcade businesses. Now, besides arcade games, they'll have props and retro merchandise from the company's history. Each location will also have at least one animatronic figure from the past, although these won't be performing. There are Chuck's Arcades now opening throughout America, but none so far here in Michigan.
Aww.
Now, did you go to Chuck E. Cheese, or was that already kind of over when you?
I loved Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, I was growing up when they still had the animatronics.
Yeah. We still had the animatronics. I remember my nephews are a couple years younger than me. By the time they were old enough to have their birthdays there, they kind of did away with the animatronics.
I miss the arcades.
I know.
The arcades now, they have like 10 huge machines that cost $1 million. You get one life. Back in the day, you got to go play and have 3 lives. And
yeah. So now that'll be really exciting there.
We'll see, right? Well, let's talk about weather.
Yeah, it's an exciting forecast that we have for 4th of July, mainly dry and going to be incredibly warm too. But we do still have the chance for a couple of isolated storms to talk about.
That's par for the course.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, coming up.